Welcome to Delvin's Playbook, Strategies for Wellness. I'm Lloyd Courtney, here with Delvin Breaux, my guy.
Yes, sir.
We're here at Indigo Papers. We're about to crack in, get this thing rocking.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Cheers.
And we're off and rolling. You got the purple and gold. I see you.
Oh, yeah, man.
I
You
see
know, LSU,
repping-
you know I got to
repping
have
the
it,
alma mater. Thank you for coming in, dude. So this is Delvin Breaux, obviously, of LSU history and little known secret, supposed to be a secret, UREC legend on the flag football field where just collected every t-shirt. If you ever played at LSU or played at UREC, like this man was a legend before, got injured, miracle comeback, and then he decided to take his talents to the UREC field, which got him to professional football, also
Yes,
New
sir.
Orleans Saint,
Yes,
and then
sir.
up in Canada.
Yes, sir.
So
Man,
thank you for
absolutely.
coming in. Absolutely a pleasure for me to do this. So give me a little bit of information about why you're here, what you're doing, and what the plan is for going forward.
Yeah, man. So today, I'm just coming to let you guys know a little bit of story, a little bit about my story, about my journey from the NFL to wellness. We're going to talk a little bit about Indigo Hemp and how we became a partner. And we're also going to talk about my mental health journey and why I'm a great advocate in that space.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get into it. Obviously, a little bit of background I just gave. So, but from your perspective, tell me how you went from obviously high school, LSU, and the entire journey, because it's something that obviously I'm a huge football fan. So you coming in and when it happened, kind of needed you to play for LSU. Like
Yeah.
It was an absolute must get. You got injured in high school. So tell me, for like kind of pick up from maybe a little bit of the recruiting background and then your transition going forward.
Yeah, man. So, man, my journey was crazy all the way up into the NFL. I'm going to start with high school. I was at McDonald 35. I was a highly touted recruit, #1 cornerback coming out of Louisiana. Coming out the state, I was a highly recruited, had a full scholarship to play for LSU. Then I broke my neck, man. I broke my vertebrae, C4, 5, and 6 vertebrae playing a high school football game. LSU still honored my scholarship and everything, despite me not playing or whatnot. So I came here on a full scholarship. I started playing UREC.
Yeah, you
I
did.
started playing in the rec leagues, just to, because I didn't know where my life or my journey, my football journey was going to take me. So I ended up just playing UREC football. I was in school and, I was just enjoying the journey until I got cleared in 2011 and 12. And that's when I made my journey to the NFL.
So obviously, real quick sidebar, like Corey Raymond back at LSU, was that the guy that recruited you? And a lot of him being back, I feel like instills a little bit of back of what DBU was supposed to be.
Man, yeah, man. I had Corey. I had Corey 1 year. It was my freshman year when I came in, and it's awesome to see him back. By the way,
Yes.
man, he's a astonishing cornerbacks coach, and the knowledge that he brings to these guys, I think it's going to be phenomenal. So yeah, I'm glad Coach Corey Raymond is back, man, for sure.
So obviously, I would imagine a ton of highlights from high school, and then I'm more interested in how kind of that in between time when you're not playing football. Obviously, you get the LSU honors a scholarship, so you can get medical treatment, I would imagine, which helped a lot. But like, how did you be able to continue that journey whenever you weren't really playing active ball?
Man, you know what? It was pretty tough, man, along that journey. Once I broke my neck, got to LSU and everything, and I had to start playing flag football. It was a big drop for me because I'm used to wearing a helmet, shoulder pads, cleats, pads, and everything. And to go from that to wearing
Checking
flags.
somebody like me? Yeah. Press, come on. Yeah.
Look, they even, the refs used to get mad at me for wanting to press because I'm like, bro, y'all don't know, I am a
This is
D1
technique.
athlete.
Yeah.
This is what we do. But to go down that route and to take that journey of playing flag football, it just ensured my skills, man. It made sure I stood up on my tip-top shape. Whenever a team was going to reach out to me, I wanted to make sure I was prepared, focused, and was going to dominate whenever I touched the field.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of dominating, obviously you played for the Saints, and then you have your Canadian Football League run, which was awesome to watch. Every time we saw you, it's like, I know that man. But give us some of the highlights and what, like, looking back on your career, some of the parts that stick out.
Whoo, man, some of the most. What I want to say, the things that stuck out to me during my career, man, I want to say in the NFL was winning the Ed Block Courage Award. That was they was giving that award, based on the teammates and the peers around. It was voting on guys who, was playing with courage, guys who've been through adversity, guys who are excelling on the field now. So all my teammates, the staff, they picked me to win that award my rookie year in the league. And also one of my major accomplishments was winning Saints MVP, man. 2015, they voted me as the defensive MVP. So I would say my downfall, with the injuries. injuries, bro.
Yeah.
It sucked, man. You know, it sucked,
We
man.
started off at the top. You're like, if you can overcome that. Like, let's keep giving this man challenges to see how many he can knock off the list.
Yeah, man. It was the injuries, bro, that sucked. But, you know, football is part of the game. Injuries are part of the game, man, and it's a hand you dealt with.
Yeah, absolutely. And being dealt that hand, it's a testament to like your mental strength and like the mental acuity you have to be like, knock me down, I'll get back up. Like the Allen Iverson quote, like, knock me down 6 times, I'll get up 7.
Absolutely.
Like, so where were you in that? Like, each time was obviously it presents a different challenge, but how did you? It feels like you almost got better because of it.
Yeah, man. You know what, man? I would say that, and I would also say, you know, me being in those dark spaces and going through my mental illness is definitely what got me to the top, because I didn't know who I was during that time. You know, all I wanted to do was play football.
Yeah, it kept getting taken away from you.
Right, it's getting taken away, and it's just like, so what is my purpose here on this earth now, man? So I kept wanting to commit suicide. I tried to commit suicide twice during my time in college, man. Like, it was a lot. You know, most people say they see the finished product, but they don't see the product that's being worked and, you know, going through these depressive states, you know, going through the anxiety, going through all that to get to this point. They don't see that, man. So that's what I would say, man. That really helped shape my career moving forward.
Yeah, a lot of people see the art but not the artist.
There you go.
See the finished product, you're like, oh, yeah, you don't know what you go through to get there. And I think that's a big part of why you're here today. So talk to me a little bit about like that mental health and like where you got, obviously you were at the darkest spot in your life, but that's when you find out who you are.
Yes, sir.
And so how did, I guess, cannabis or, you know, whatever you found, like how did you get to that spot where you're like, this is what's helping me?
Yeah, man. So when I found cannabis, it was in 2018. My teammates were, you know, they was coming in, we have practice, and I'm like, oh, y'all boys, y'all smell like marijuana. You know, y'all boys shouldn't be doing that, right?
Yeah,
like,
I like it here.
You know, and mind you, I'm a captain of the team, so I have to make sure my guys are in play. They ready.
Yeah.
So they come in smelling like, I'm like, bro, we have practice today, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all just stay focused, stay locked in. They're like, bro, you don't know what you're talking about. So we get to practice. Those guys are dominating. Like, they're having astonishing practices. I'm like, bro, y'all was just smoking. I thought that was bad for you.
Right.
So they're like, bro, we're gonna come after game. We're gonna come to your spot, and we're gonna consume
introduce
something.
You.
Let you try. Yeah. So me, not knowing, we get to it was playing Calgary. They came to my condo after. Man, they brought up some Obama runts. I remember it like it was yesterday, bro. Like, it was my first. Yes, I was like, what? So we rolling up. I took my first hit and I start coughing. I'm just profusely coughing. Yeah, they're like, bro, stop. What you doing? I'm like, bro, I've never done this before. Y'all got to give me some grace. I ate some food. I went laid down. I didn't wake up till 9, 10 hours later, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, 9 to 10 hours later, bro. And my body was recovered. I was like, wait, I got a lot of sleep that I've never gotten before. I'm ready to play another football game. What is this stuff? I thought this was bad for you.
Right.
And that's what made me started doing my research. That's what made me really fall in love with cannabis, man. And I wanted to do more than just, you know, be that guy who's consuming it. I want to educate. I want to, and I don't want to just educate. I want to go out in the communities and let people know how beautiful this plant is. Right, from seed to the final product, how amazing this plant is, and how you could, you know, it's not about how much you consume, it's not about, you know, what you're consuming, but it's doing it the right way, knowing what you're consuming. That's the biggest thing, right?
Yeah,
so,
because I do feel like that there's such a stigma attached to it. Like it's certainly early on, like you said, where you're like, this is not what you do before a game, or this is not. But then you hear stories of whether it be like Randy Moss. Now you have Matt Barnes doing his podcast Up in Smoke, where you're like, they're spreading awareness about stuff like, dude, it's not what you think it is. And so I think it's important for you to how you're educating people and letting them know, like, it's not what you think it is.
Absolutely.
And so that's where I want to get to how it helps you with like your mental health and awareness. And obviously, the other thing I think that people don't realize is like recovery.
Yeah. It's a big thing for me, man. And that's why I fell in love with it, and I'm gonna continuously keep talking about it, because it's helping my mental. You know, it's allowing me to be free. Right, it's allowing me to feel confident each and every day. Right, I suffer from anxiety. Right, so knowing that I have these cannabis products and indigo products, right? I'm gonna say indigo because indigo works for me. Knowing I have indigo products work for me. Knowing I have that in my body. Knowing I have that when I go do interviews, I'm not gonna be all out in my body. I'm not gonna be all anxiety. I'm gonna be calm. I'm gonna be relaxed, and that's what the product does.
And
so
I think,
it's awesome.
Yeah, and I think that's something that people probably aren't aware of. It's like, that because like, going back to like the stigma part of it, like you felt like you had to go somewhere to go get it, that, you know, the drug dealers sit down where you're like, bro, let me get out of here. Like, you're looking around, and now you have a place where it's regulated and you know what's in there, and you can come by and get it without having to feel like you're doing something seedy. And I think that's what people don't realize. Like, you can have a product where this is regulated, like you know what's in there, and you can go buy it without feeling like you're doing something wrong.
Absolutely, man. I agree.
And so, getting into, I guess, a little bit of that now, obviously went through the playing career. What was your next step into after you found cannabis and you felt I want to be an advocate for this? What was kind of like the next steps moving forward for you?
You know what, man? Once I found, you know, my love for cannabis and, you know, became an advocacy in that, you know, I wrote a book. You know, I have a book out, man. I did it in 2020.
Fire book cover.
Yeah. Unbroken, man.
Yes.
Yeah. I started that in 2020, so shout out to Ross Williams, Commerce Publishing Company, who helped me publish my book. Shout out to Sasha Austri and Michelle Roberts. They were my ghostwriters who helped me, you know, jot down all the notes and put the word into form, man. You know, I would say it was very therapeutic. You know, it allowed me to free myself from all the trauma and things that, you know, were going on in my childhood. So it's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, there's something too, I would imagine, like you live it the entire time, and to go back and reflect on something and be like, oh my God, like I've been through, this needs to be a book.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a story better, like from what it could have been to what it turned into. It's like, this is a successful journey and people need to know. And now that you have, not only do you have a good story, but you have a reason to, I guess, continue to tell it, because like, this is what helped me. Like people need to hear.
Yes,
like, people need to let out.
Yeah, that vulnerability, right? Being able to be vulnerable, being able to be, you know, emotional, right? You know, being an athlete, right? Guys, they expect you to be tough. Everybody expects you to be tough. Everybody expects you to be driven, you know? But man, look, I'm human at the end of the day, man. Let me take some time for myself so I can, you know, be as creative as I can.
Yeah, and going back to when you were obviously in the NFL and the Canadian Football League, in the Arena Football League, like, what are some of the misconceptions that you felt like were going around the league? Some
of the misconceptions, you know, about, you know, mental health in the professional game, you know, like I said, bro, they always say athletes are driven. You know, athletes are always motivated, man. There would be times I'd be in the locker room. Man, I know guys, offensive players, 'cause I don't like you, but I know guys, offensive players, man, they would be afraid of the weight room, knowing you're about to go get hit by 300-pound guys. They just did not want to go lift weights, and that was lack of motivation. So how could athletes always be motivated if that's how guys that are professionally feeling? So that was one of the misconceptions. And always mental toughness, right? They say athletes always are mental tough, man. No, we're human at the end of the day, man. Just because we have on a football helmet, shoulder pads, and all that, don't make us no tougher than anybody walking these streets, man. So that's another misconception. But how we can address that, man, is you facing you in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? You got to get up every day wanting to better yourself. So that's how we can address that, man. You know, ain't no put the misconceptions behind us, and you have to face you every single day in order to get your goals and dreams.
Yeah, because it's not going to get easier. They say like the first day you strap it up in the NFL or in competitive sports, like that's the last day you were healthy. That's the last day you were 100%.
Yep.
And so, like moving forward, I feel like stuff like indigo and cannabis that helps you get close to 100.
Man, absolutely, man. And like I said, man, the recovery aspect of the indigo products is where it's at, man.
What are some effective types of therapy that you've seen or that have you experienced or seen around just everyday life now?
Man, yes, man. So I'm a big fan of therapy. I love therapy. I love therapy now. I'm a big fan of it. I have my psychiatrist. I talk to Dr. Angela Trailer. She's my muscle, right? When I go up in there feeling weak, or when I'm feeling down, or when I'm feeling sad, like she's that person to pick me up. Like, come on, Delvin, we got to do this, right? Then I also have my guy Marlise. He's a trustee through the NFL. He calls me twice a month. Once or twice a month, we get on the phone call, and he's just asking me about my mental space. So those are therapeutic things that help me. Also, I'm a big bowler. I love bowling, right? So bowling is my therapeutic way of releasing, you know, when things trigger me. So I would say a few of those things, man.
High score.
My high score was 213 bowling, man. I got to get higher.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. But, hey, you're not there for the score, though. I just want to see that. I just want to roll the rock.
The therapy, there you go. It's for the
absolutely.
therapy, man.
And that's another thing that I think people don't realize is like, it's not weakness to go to therapy or ask for help. Like, you can't do it always by yourself. Like you say, you have to just because it's you facing you in the mirror doesn't mean there can't be people behind
you.
Absolutely. So like I think that's something that people, especially males,
Yep.
are kind of apprehensive toward because it's, I don't know, I don't want to be looked down upon. It's like, no, dude, this make you stronger. Like this is good for you. It's actually more courageous than it is, like than not.
Come on,
And
man.
so I think that's something that people need to be aware of, and I love the mission that you're pushing, man.
Man, yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. One more.
Cheers.
One of the books.
Gee,
We'll do it
yes,
again.
sir. Let's do it.
That's Delvin Breaux, Lloyd Courtney, your host. Thank you for tuning in with us.